Becoming who you're meant to be is never tidy.
It's the sacred in-between, where chaos meets clarity.
Where truth cracks open light and light brings you home.
Welcome to Journey to Radiance, where real stories,
Raw truths, and
Brave transformation light the path forward. We're not here to give you a highlight reel.
We're here to talk about the parts of life that shape you.
the messy,
Magnificent middle,
Where reinvention
where reinvention
begins. Hello, welcome to Journey to Radiance. I'm Melissa.
I'm Alana.
I'm Jo.
And we're so glad you're here. Today's episode is about the discipline of waiting. And I don't know about you, but I don't sit well. And so sitting with uncertainty when there's nothing left to do is a challenge. And so we're going to wade all the way into this. And this was a topic that felt very real and authentic for us in our journeys currently. And we're going to talk about our own personal experiences. But at the root of this, it's really exploring the kind of emotional side, the emotional tension and psychological tension of those in-between seasons that, you know, once decisions are out of your hands, outcomes haven't yet arrived, there's a certain degree where progress feels paused, or your mind is kind of rehearsing on its own in all different kinds of scenarios. And if you're like me, those scenarios aren't always the most positive framing. And so, yeah, reframing, you know, how waiting is something that does require some discipline, some strength, and some trust, some faith. But it's not passive. It's a very, in my own experience, it can be an internal kind of turmoil that occurs. So we kind of want to wrestle with that today. And our grounding question, how do you stay grounded when you're in a season of waiting, when there's nothing more to do but sit with your uncertainty or the uncertainty? And really further exploring, what does alignment look like when the action isn't possible, and yet patience feels almost unbearable because of all of the unknowns? So that's our grounding question. How do you stay grounded when you're in a season of waiting, when there's nothing more to do, but you're having to sit with that uncertainty?
Mm-hmm. Big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a situation happen that I won't get into the details, but essentially a family member went through something, and again, it was out of my control.
Yeah.
And I think as high achievers, we typically like to be responsible, and we're wired to believe that if something goes wrong, I'd like to fix it.
Yeah.
And I want to jump in. And I think one of the hardest things in life is learning how to sit with uncertainty when there's nothing you can do to control the outcome.
Yeah.
At least for me, it feels like, oh my God, I want to jump in and I want to control it. And I think this is literally what the energy of our podcast is about, the messy middle and the in-between and the waiting, because that's the hardest space of life, right?
Yeah.
Not the beginning, not the resolution, but being in the middle. And it made me think a lot about how when you are in that space, the work to be done is in the being versus the doing, which we were kind of talking about last episode. Because, for example, for this situation that happened with my family member, like, I couldn't solve anything. They were far away. I can't control fixing anything, healing anything. All I can do is hold space for them, check in with them, be patient, and hold my own emotional regulation, which I did notice was better. I guess I haven't had, I hate to say this because I'm like a superstitious person, I'll knock on wood, but it's almost like I haven't had something that bad happen in a while.
Mm-hmm. You haven't faced the test.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I haven't had it happen in this new awakened Alana version.
Yeah.
I would say.
Is this 3.0?
Yeah, we're in 3.0 now.
Okay, good.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah.
So it was almost like me holding up a mirror to myself of how do I want to be in this situation? And the egocentric, maybe old parts of me would jump to control and fixing and forcing. And I know that the answer is, how can I hold certainty even in uncertain times? And here I am presented with a big uncertainty, a big challenge that I can't grip or help. So it was just about, again, the self-love. What do I need for me today? And
which, when you
processing
messaged
it.
yesterday, I feel like you were really mindful of, I'm just going to take some me time. I'm just going to be still. I'm just going to be quiet and give myself some time.
Yes.
Which I thought was really an important thing to note, because I don't know your past reaction, but in my past reactions to those types of stressors, all I'm doing is diverting that degree of wanting to control to something else I can control.
Yes.
And you kind of, it felt like you were pausing enough to not fall into that trap. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
That's a great point. And I think the past version of me would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Let me find something then that I can control. And no, yesterday I was just a complete, like, I would say like a blanket. I'm picturing like a blanket. Like I'm just kind of there and comforting myself. And I feel so blessed that I'm able to create a day if I do need a day like that.
Yeah.
Because in the past in corporate, I would have to, pivot the mind and get to work, because I got the phone call early yesterday morning and I had a whole day ahead of me. So yeah, I mean, and that I would maybe pose to you both, like, how do you jump back into the day, right? When you're holding this personal thing.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, who do I want to share it with? Do I not want to share it at all? What will help me? And I think, again, it's just the checking in with yourself during those times. It also made me think about like my nervous system, and that most of our anxiety during uncertain times is coming from imagined futures that haven't happened yet. So for me, I know my brain was going to worst case scenario. I was like picturing the situation over and over again, and I wasn't there again. I don't know exactly how it happened, but I caught my mind going to worst case scenario. So for me, again, Alana 3.0, it was the awareness of no, you're going to worst case scenario. Let's come back to the present.
Yeah.
Let's come back to the present.
Yeah.
So that was another helpful thing.
Yeah.
For me.
So those worst case scenarios, I think that is a huge mindful practice. And just to answer your question specifically, I feel like when those things happen, given the professional commitments that I have, and sometimes they're personal commitments too, it's really taking time to discern where my energy is best spent. So sometimes I may react to say, no, I'm going to focus on something else because I need a healthy place to put the energy that I'm feeling. And sometimes it's, no, I'm going to clear my calendar of non-essential things to preserve my energy because I know I need to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think it comes with knowing and being more in tune. And that is Melissa 3.0 practice. Melissa even 2.0 practice was, well, I got a job to do, got to go do the job, right? And I think that is a very natural go-to for a lot of people. I was actually just watching a show the other day, and there was a highly successful CEO level person who literally lost her sister. But she had this, very important project that she was recording, like a video for. And she was like, I don't have a choice. I have to push forward, right? And so I think there are probably going to be those times where I don't have the luxury of deflecting or canceling or preserving time and space for myself. But I think it's taking the time to discern, how can I best serve myself at this time? Do I need to put my mind on something healthy and positive so that I feel more energized? Do I need to like completely disconnect and be alone and be quiet? Or how do I compartmentalize the responsibilities I have to know I just have to get through this next meeting, get that over with, and then I'm going to preserve that quiet time and unplug. And so I think it's just a matter of deciding like the timing, like what is needed, and then what is the timing that's helpful. How about you, Joe? How do you process through that?
So you guys are way ahead of me.
There's no right or wrong.
It's not a race.
I still just want to jump to the rational or the irrational and fix and do. And yeah, this was poignant this week because going through. So I'm leaving tomorrow to go be with my daughter who's having her first baby.
Yay.
Super exciting time. But there's always a comma, right? Her husband is military. We all know what's going on in the world. Bases have gone to a different threat level, which means really not very much. We know we've existed in that life. It's not a big deal to us, but it's still unnerving when you know that. And then, she was having some labor pains and her husband works nights. So I'm like, oh my God, she's just all on her own. And to me, it just felt so heavy that I couldn't help. And I couldn't, I think I said to you guys, who gave them permission to live so far away? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. You're like, come back.
Yeah. I had to do a lot of grounding this week to not just go and just stick to the plan. And, her and I talked it through and she was very calm and was like, no, stick to the plan. But then the next day she's like, so did you make any changes? I'm like, you said stick to the plan.
Yeah. She's probably struggling with her own management of that.
So
moment to moment.
Yeah. We stuck to the plan a little bit, but we kind of moved it forward a little bit too. So, but the staying grounded all week, just knowing I just want to get there, that's been tricky. And, I've felt, I feel like I've been eating nonstop and I'm just busy, just trying to keep busy every second of the day because otherwise
you're fixated on the thoughts of.
Yeah.
Like the blank space in the mind will immediately go to, then I better just leave.
Are you exercising like worst case scenarios in that time? Like if your mind is left to wander?
No,
Okay.
It's just time feels like it's at a standstill for me,
Yeah.
but everything else is chugging forward and,
Yeah.
so.
And I like what you did. You compromised. You didn't leave right away. You didn't really stick to the original plan. You made a compromise with
Like
what
the middle.
felt best. Yeah, the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great tip for people in the moment is maybe you feel like you can't stick to the original plan because that's too far away or too hard. And how can you compromise knowing what you know now while still exercising best judgment?
Yeah.
Which I'll give you credit because in the emotional, what probably felt a little tornado-ish with all the thoughts and the optionalities and the possibilities and like the needs and like trying to figure out a game plan. I can imagine like there's a lot of noise around that process, but it feels like you took time to kind of separate yourself from the immediate triggers in order to really process what is the right thing. Can you talk a little bit about that decision-making process and how you're able to kind of quiet the noise or slow the...
And I think, again, it's me saying, like reaching out to you guys and saying, I'm struggling with this. And, saying to my husband, I feel heavy. Tell me what to do. And he's like, I can't tell you what to do. You have to decide that. Which, I think we've talked about with other people, like our kids, especially when they come to us and they want advice or they want help. And you're like, I can't tell you that. I'll be here, whatever you decide. But I think for me, it was just, when someone's having a baby and they're far away, if you're going to try and make it, it's a crapshoot. I mean, it really is. Maybe, maybe not. And so she had other people there and has other people. So she'll be fine. And it was just saying that, like, she will be fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't need me there. It's a luxury for both of us if we're together in that experience. But otherwise, she'll be fine. Stick to the plan and everything will be okay. But I literally wanted, we've talked before about when people say you should. Go do this. It's annoying. You're like, no, I'm going to do the opposite now. But I just wanted someone to say, do this. Make this choice. And I would have gone with that. I mean, yeah, that's the way to go. But it's no one's choice to make. But so
why do you think you're not a person that struggles with making decisions? Why is it that you wanted someone else to make that choice or to give you that direction?
So I actually do struggle with decision making.
Really?
Heavily, yes.
I would not know this about you and working with you directly because I feel like you are...
So work is different for me. It's a totally different dynamic. But otherwise, my decision making skills are terrible. Yeah, Charlie will attest to that. Like I will go back and forth on a decision. Just booking a trip somewhere. I will spend 3 days, have 20 options.
Goes back to the optionality.
Oh, yeah. And I was just,
analysis paralysis of optionality.
yes. And thinking maybe for people that struggle with decision making, maybe personally and not in their career, it's almost like, what would you tell a friend to do in your situation, and almost pull yourself out of it to be able to look at it high level and be like, what would I tell a friend who's a mom, whose daughter's husband is left for the military? And like sometimes that's helpful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, her husband is there with her. So,
okay,
yeah,
good.
but he, works nights and stuff. So he's,
Not physically always there.
Yeah. And I try to do that, but I'm not good at, and I think it also goes back to I'll be okay, right? So it goes back to that as well. So I try to make it okay for everybody else. And so in that decision making, I'm also then making decisions for other people, which is completely unfair. So yeah.
Yeah. And why do we think that the second we arrive, everything will be great?
So egotistical, right?
On us to figure out why we think that.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
What
And
about you, Melissa?
I'm just thinking too, though, just going back to the layers of this decision that you were struggling with, it's like there's the physical need, but then there's the emotional layer of that, right? Like, so yes, he's physically there working nights, working mostly nights. But then there's his mind is in a different place because of our current situation geopolitically and in the world. And then her mind worrying about him. Like there's just so many layers of this that are really very complex and very unique to, I also think just military life in general. Like, there's just so many other layers of sacrifice and, that most people aren't processing in their thought, like you're having to process that. And thankfully you have the benefit, of the experience yourself to know like what you would have wanted in that circumstance. I can't imagine, for example, if Charlie did not serve and your family did not, I consider your family served along with your husband. That's kind of my view on it. But if your nuclear family did not choose to serve, your perspective of what your daughter may need or not need would be very different than what it is based on that experience, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in some instances, it makes our understanding of their lives is so different.
Yeah.
Like we've never questioned them not showing up for something or their inability to be somewhere. We know we had to make those decisions and those sacrifices. And, but then those times of uncertainty, we get that too. So we know how that feels. And yeah.
So I think it gives you some benefits because you have that direct experience, but I think it also probably amplifies your level of concern because you have that experience.
Because you know,
right?
You know a lot.
You know all the
too
things.
much.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And I think just going back to the context of this dilemma of how to sit with uncertainty, for me, the stakes could not be higher or it be more of an amplified situation than when it comes to my role as mom. And, a lot of people think that because I'm in an executive role that I love making decisions or like that I'm a control person. And the older I get or the more wisdom I gain, the more I realize I actually want space from that. Because I have fatigue of having to make all the decisions. I have fatigue in being the one where it feels like some of the weight of the world is on my shoulders at all times. And so I'm finding as I gain in wisdom and more experience, I'm trying to retreat from those responsibilities. And yet I'm watching, you watch your children kind of front line and you see some of the behaviors and the choices. It's like, I equate it to when you put a child when they're first walking, Like, and they're, they're kind of like stumbling and like they can't quite get it. And there's maybe some objects that are out there in the line of sight and in the view that they might fall or they might trip so you see the hazards ahead of them. They're not aware of the hazards because they're just kind of figuring it out and learning to walk. And you're like, no, don't go there. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. You're going to get hurt. So it's like, I have the benefit of my life experience, and I'm struggling. Like the internal battle is his journey, and I love what you said. It's like, no, that's not my choice to make. That is like the skill I'm developing right now, because I just still am to the point where I want you in the bubble. I want to prevent all the pain that I think that you're headed toward, although I can't be certain. Because I'm imprinting my own experience on this person, which is a completely different person, right? So I have the awareness of this, but I'm still struggling with not overperforming as a parent and really holding space supportively, but not solving problems, allowing the dialogue and asking questions to help him process through his decision making, but not make the decision.
Yeah.
And at times it's really unnerving. It's like there's so much uncertainty there and it feels like the stakes are really high. I mean, I'll tell you, there's times it's not life or death, certainly, right? But there's times that there are some pretty, significant decisions or significant issues that he's processing through that I'm, trying to help him navigate through without trying to control the outcome or be tied to the outcome myself. And it's a tough walk. And I think, so that's one example of where I struggle with like holding that space of uncertainty. I think the other one is in my business, because I'm also similarly trying to disassociate from all of the doing and be more of that leader and mentor and helping others in their own development journey. And so I'm trying to do less. And it's very similar dynamic for me. They're not my children, but I also don't want them to feel badly or struggle or have failures. But that's the journey of life. They have to experience those things.
It sounds like with both scenarios, you're deciding if you want them to sit in their own uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree that our moments of uncertainty have shaped us and helped us.
Yeah.
And actually, when we haven't forced and pushed and jumped in to solve, things probably have flowed much easier.
Yeah.
So it's like looking back at your track record of all of your uncertainties and how that shaped you to who you are today.
No, it's an essential part of the journey. I don't think you truly evolve in the ways that you're meant to if you avoid or eliminate those, adversity or challenge or strife. I feel like it forms you. It's the crucible of life that forms, who you are critically as your character and your sense of confidence, your sense of like, I can do this. I'm capable. I can handle things. Right. And like, because otherwise, like if you're absent of those experiences, I would imagine you're walking around pretty fearful all the time. Because you just don't know what you can handle. You don't know what's there to break you or what's going to ruin you versus, I'm going to struggle for a year, but I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to be okay by year 3.
Yeah.
That's
a great point. And it helps you be able to celebrate on the other end.
Yeah.
Like the ups are really beautiful.
Right.
When you've been in those lower places.
And those people that we believe we could make better decisions for, or that we want to jump in and help, and everything will be better if we are there, they're missing out if we take that away from them, right?
It's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
But we're really great at taking action.
Yeah.
It's tough when you're really successful at taking action. Then you're like, in this scenario, I don't really have a lot of practice on not doing things.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's almost like the flip side of that coin for us.
I know.
In our own
We
uncertainty.
could just be like, well, they'll figure it out. But all of us are a bit more, and I think that goes back to our masculine. We want to jump in and fix, where the feminine is more, I'm receiving, I'm letting go. They'll rise to the occasion. So how can we tap a little bit more into that, especially in these tough moments?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a perfect, my own example I'll share is like, there are times when, I'm trying to exercise the practice more of like asking questions when people are coming to me with problems or challenges. Well, what do you think you should do? And like, what do you feel is the right answer? What solution are you contemplating? But I get the sense, it's quite funny. I've caught it a few times where I still can't fix my facial reactions when I'm hearing things.
What do you have?
So my
RBF?
face shows up like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, you dumbass.
so people are telling me things and I know my face is all kinds of reacting. And then I just see them like, they get like nervous and like a little antsy, like, and then I'm like, oh no, we're good. It's good. No, please continue. Like I'm trying to, so I'm live resetting but I feel my facial reaction, sometimes my words, but more my energy even, how I'm reacting to the problem they're expressing makes them uneasy about processing the problem. And
what's your energy?
So my energy is still in that, let me fix this. This is going to cost money. We're going to lose time.
Yeah. And they can feel that.
Yeah. They feel my fix it energy. And I have a distinct sense like right now in this time when that shows up and trying to like pull it back. It's almost like, I'm pulling the reins back on myself, like I'm a horse, like, oh,
Yeah. You're like, Melissa, chill.
whoa, girl, like slow down, slow your roll. Yeah. So I almost feel like, Joe, you and I maybe need to have a code word or something where you see that energy show up that you continue to help me exercise it. Because I feel like I have the awareness. But I also know, even if I'm not showing up with that energy, I have historically shown up with that energy. So they're anticipating me showing up with that energy.
Yeah.
So their uneasiness is still coming present, right? And so I think sometimes they're still surprised that I'm chill, or I'm like, oh, okay, well, sounds like you've got your hands around that, or sounds like you're on a good path. Walk me through what you're thinking. Sounds like you're on the right path. You might want to just talk to so-and-so. Here's a thought, give them some tidbits if I feel like, maybe go ask this person this question, like a little hint.
Yeah.
But not solving.
Still hinting.
Still hinting.
Interesting. Still
hinting. Oh, so right.
One of the best things I learned in coaching was the line that people are naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. So when you just take a breath and say, someone's coming to you and they load up on, they have questions or they have a problem, or it's like every person is creative, resourceful, and whole. All by themselves. They have answers within them. It may not be Melissa's way to do it.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like, how can I let them show up with that?
Yeah.
And then veer them in the right direction.
And my poor son who works with me as well, right? Like it's mom energy and boss energy overlap.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's a whole episode.
That is a whole episode. We need to have him as a guest so he could process through that shit, because good luck with that. But but that's the point, right? The illusion of control. Because here's what I know for certain. Someone's coming to me to solve a problem. I've likely screwed that problem up before. The illusion that I have the answer is sometimes very funny to me. Like they think because, and I mean, it's logical that someone with more experience has a better answer, but the experience is I've already made that mistake, right? It's through the mistake making, but all the conditions are not the same, right? All the factors are not the same. So this is, even though something similar may have happened, or hey, something tangentially could have been somewhat similar, for me to try to apply that same methodology, that same solution to a completely different scenario, like maybe 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
If that.
Do you ever open up with that vulnerability that you just said right now in real time when they come to you with something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I think I know the way that I do that is when I make a mistake, I pretty much share it with everybody.
That's awesome.
Live. Like, example, I'll be like, there was a time I was going to go place an order for an installation. It was a pretty large order. And the quantities that I gave to our purchasing person, had they not taken the time to scrutinize it, would have cost me an extra $10,000. It was a $10,000 mistake. And how brave for this person to be like, just want to ask you about that. And I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit. good job. I high-fived him. I'm like, good job. And then the next executive meeting, I went and said, guess you almost made a $10,000 mistake. Here's what I did.
Nice.
This is what I learned. And great job, so-and-so, for catching the mistake.
Wow.
I said, this is why we have checks and balances. This is why everyone is checked, including myself. Nobody's immune from, making a mistake or having a process issue that human error. It's like, it's not meant to be, right? Like, and just, blind spots. Like, it doesn't even have to be a mistake making thing. It could be better perspective. It could be enhancing it from another point of view. Like, so I'm very much open to being corrected. I'm very much open to owning, my mistakes and my challenges and my limitations. We went to this meeting yesterday and it was all about accountability. And one of the takeaways for me was, if you are not intentional on setting process with someone and verifying we're all in agreement on this process, if we don't have a solid agreement on the process and what successful outcome looks like, it is toxic for me to hold you accountable.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Right.
I do that all the time. I do. With the best of intentions.
You hold them accountable on something that hasn't been a firm process yet.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's a little gray for me, because I feel like the issue at play here is you have a job role and description. There is a process that's defined. You're not following the process. Did I need to tell you that we needed the outcome to be this?
Oh, you just scared me.
Did I scare you? Yeah. See, this is the energy I'm showing up with, people.
She was like,
But that's toxic.
you're right, though. No, that's...
But that's toxic. How I showed up with that energy, even just in explaining it to you, you felt nervous. You felt fearful. That's not good. That's not how I want to show up. And that's how I'm intense.
It's because if you had the job description written for you, you would make sure that you either understand the process or question it to make sure it's understood so that you're doing it right. And most people don't do that.
So most people will live in that uncertainty.
They'll live in
without
that uncertainty.
seeking to understand.
Yeah. And I would do it the way you would. I'd be like, I have to understand exactly what this is and what the KPIs are and blah, blah, blah. But it is interesting that, and that's actually most people live in that uncertainty.
Yeah.
And they test the waters. Again, they're kind of like,
Well, and I think where my wheels come off is that uncertainty is a condition that people live in. They're not seeking to understand or seeking to explore what they don't understand. And then they're deflecting responsibility to other people. It's like, that is
piss me off.
It's like a powder keg for me. I'm like, you want to see 19th ward Melissa show up? Show up with that mentality. Well, so-and-so's fault. Like, oh dear Jesus,
the
God help
victim or
you.
blame game.
Yeah, the victimhood is not
for me.
My eye just twitched. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, that means.
I said victimhood out loud and my eye twitched because that's how much I just don't like that behavior. Because I do believe in accountability. I do believe in owning mistakes. I do believe in the humility of that, right? Like, we're all here to learn. We're all here to teach. We're all here to grow. I don't want my energy to show up that way, though. So that is kind of my takeaway from the process yesterday is I need to, yes, create space where some uncertainty is part of the process and okay, but I need to be very clear on our standard operating principles that people know that what is expected of them, what success looks like. Mm-hmm. And I can't assume that, right? Like, even if we have an SOP, I can roll it out and go, here you are. But if I'm not taking the time to say, tell me what you think this means,
right,
and it matches what I think, until I do that, I can potentially be a toxic leader holding you accountable for something that we did not have alignment on. So that was a huge aha for me. It's having, it is such a fine line because we're talking about the importance of letting the uncertainty live because that's someone else's growth journey. But at the same time, making sure that there's crystal clarity. So there is healthy accountability.
Yeah. And we have talked about this many times. I'm that person who my job description is on my desktop and I refer to it constantly.
Smart.
I have asked Melissa and other coworkers questions like, where do I fit in this? What are my blind spots? What do I need to know? I have them printed out and I refer to them. It's just a practice I do. And so many people have said, you are the only person in the world who does that. But
I think that's a great.
But if I'm
practice.
questioning, is this in my role, my scope? Is this my lane? That's
your Bible.
That's my cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's your, like, if it's not within these categories,
yeah.
I can outsource or delegate.
Right.
But in the history of my leadership experience, I've had, because a lot of times I like my department heads to basically tell me what their process is, right? You tell me, I will give you input, make sure we're aligned on the like organizational level alignment. But I want you to take the lead. I want you to define what best practice is, and I want us to mutually agree on that. But it comes from you, so I have your buy-in. I've had individuals literally give me a breakdown of the who does what within the department, and then something doesn't happen, or there's a significant issue, and the person whose responsibility it was like, oh, I can't, so-and-so, I really wish they didn't screw that up. And I'm like, wait, what? This is the thing you gave me, which shows you're responsible, and your response is, oh, you really wish that other person didn't screw up? Help me understand.
Oh, yeah.
How did we get here?
Yeah, that's.
How did we get here? So, but I have a part to play in that, right? The part to play in that is, if I replay that scenario, this person gives me the breakdown of who does what within the department. Help me understand what a successful outcome looks like for each of these tasks, right? And what are the checks and balances of accountability around each of these tasks, right? And what are the failure flags? How will I know it's not working or not going according to plan before it's a crisis level? And if we're not clear on all of those pieces, there's ambiguity there. And my takeaway is the ambiguity, because I'm the leader, if the ambiguity exists, I have a part to play in that. And if I'm holding someone accountable for that, then, I've not taken the time to get that clarity, and it's not just me, it's other leaders too, but I'm saying this person direct reports to me. That's why I'm saying that. Because this person direct reports to me, making sure we have that level of alignment and understanding, if I don't take that added step, then yeah, I am being toxic and holding them accountable for something that there wasn't certainty and clarity on.
Yeah, I think anyone who has direct reports, that's a great outlook for them of making sure the processes put in place are crystal clear, and hopefully, if you can, even like one-on-one, sit with them and go over it, because their perception might be different.
Totally different.
Which is hard, because it's like, we're both reading the same sentence, right? But you're thinking one thing and I'm thinking, and think about how we are with our topics sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go another way.
Our interpretation of it is
see the grace in their interpretation of it.
Yeah, the grace of their interpretation. And then also, it's, for me, going back to this topic, it's the illusion of control and the importance of alignment, right? Because if I'm not getting alignment, I'm actually usurping responsibility. It's your responsibility. I want to have alignment that it's your responsibility. We agree. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now you're accountable. Otherwise, I still have the reins on control.
Right.
Because I haven't been clear to give you the control. Right. And so this is like literally my aha of yesterday. And I guess I just didn't realize that degree of clarity, like taking it to that degree and depth of clarity, was important.
And there's part of me that thinks people that report to you at your level, their level, really? We've got to... But then, yeah, maybe it's even more important.
Yeah.
Because that is the level that we're talking about. And therefore, they are operating over direct reports and multiple people with multiple interpretations of what they should and should not be doing and how.
Yeah.
And what the outcome should or maybe or desired outcome is. And so, yeah, it's a different way.
It goes back to that relay race. Like we talked about this analogy, and I actually have a very humorous analogy. So for anybody that, because, I like my movie references, 21 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah.
The newer one, right? The movie. There is the relay race, I don't know if you've seen this. If you haven't seen this, make sure that you YouTube it or whatever immediately, because this is funny. So Relay Race 21 Jump Street. And it's basically he's pretending he's in high school. So he's in this high school track situation. There's a relay race that's happening. And he might be under the influence of something. He must have been, because it was hilarious. But he's got the baton and he's running in this race, and the other like runners there, like poised, ready to take the baton, and he's doing dances. He's like all over the place. And then he's like running, and the guy's waiting. Come on, we gotta go. And then he's like, he just like chucks it, and it like misses the guy. And like, so I literally, there's been executive meetings where I've played that video to say, this is the importance of proper handoff.
Wow.
Right? Because we think it's very clear, this baton is in your hand. But what we're half the time with half-baked process, sometimes we're throwing the baton. Sometimes like we put it in their hand, but they drop it. We've already turned around. We don't know they dropped it. Like there's all different scenarios that come from that analogy. But the importance of like, when I'm running a true successful relay race is I'm approaching, I'm going to slow down. You see I'm slowing down. Here's the baton. Do you have the baton? Yes, you have the baton. Yes, you've nodded. You have the baton. Okay, I'm going to turn around and run now. Are you good? Good. Okay, let's go. Like, that's what I'm talking about with this degree of communication, accountability. And, you know, if we're living in uncertainty, like there has to be some degree of clarity that is also essential for human development.
And I think that in career life, we can put the clarity in place even when there's uncertainty. But I'm thinking about personally, my family doesn't have duties and responsibilities and hierarchy and scope of work, right? So it's like...
But I think they do. I think they do. Relationally, we have roles and responsibilities. Like we all serve a part within our family dynamic, right? You know, I'm the strong one. You know, I'm going to mom. You know, dad is like the rescuer. Like we have the roles we play. And I think having clarity on the boundaries around, I know mom's a rescuer. I don't need to be rescued. Right? Like you talked about it the one time where you're like, I'm coming with a challenge. I need you to listen. Right? And so I think that's the clarity. It's what do you need in the relationship with me, and how can I best support you? Yeah. And I feel like that is kind of the certainty, even when there is uncertainty. So if you come to me with your challenge, how can I best support you, is likely my first question. And then you can say, I just need you to listen. And now I know I'm not going to offer you solutions. I'm going to listen. Right. You feel respected and loved and supported. And I don't take responsibility that isn't mine.
Yes. And I think for our situations, I think what would have calmed me and grounded me was asking the family member, how can I best support you? And I can do that today.
Yeah.
Because, and you too with your daughter, right? It's like, how can I best support you? Is it moving the trip up? Because roles may change, or you may want them to change, or I like I said, typically would like to go in and fix, but as of a year or two ago, I really want to watch that and not have
fix.
to rescue. And so that's a great reminder to get clarity on what the other person needs, career-wise or family, any relationship.
And to even widen the scope a bit too, because you know, you have a family member that's going through something directly, but there's also like a vibrational impact to everyone around that situation.
Yes.
Right? So this is happening. Yes, I want to ask that person, how can I best support? But it's also being emotionally attentive enough to say to the other people that may or may not be able to articulate that or even be clear on what they need, is to say, I know this is a really stressful time. Are you okay?
Yeah.
And how can I best support? And hopefully that's reciprocated, right? So that you're not always the rescuer, that someone actually can give you that level of love and respect to say, yeah, and this has got to be tough for you too. Like we're going through this together. Like we're here for each other, right? And I feel like a lot of times because of our own inability to face pain, we try to just run from it rather than, to your point, of sitting in it and just saying, wow, this is really hurts. This is really sad, scary.
Yeah. Like it's going to be a hard week and
Yeah. Yeah.
we're in it together.
Yeah. We're in it together. I'm here.
Yeah.
There's going to be highs and lows. You're going to feel like you're okay today. Tomorrow, you may not be okay. And I'm here for it, you know? And I think it's just being in the realness of what you're feeling. And sometimes it's the leadership of talking about what you're feeling, because other people don't necessarily model that or lead with that, or even have the skills to, may have a willingness to, but have never exercised with that muscle. So they don't even know it's there.
Yeah. I think it's what I'm realizing is like, after this happened, I was like, wow, I know exactly how I feel. Whereas a couple years ago, if something like an accident happened, I wouldn't even know how I felt.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know who I was and I didn't know how to react. And externally, I would try to be my best self for external validation. But it was so clear yesterday. It's like, oh, I know how I feel, and therefore I know what I need today.
Yeah.
So I think it's really goes back to understanding yourself, knowing yourself, and loving yourself.
Yeah. Well, and not cluttering a whole bunch of other crap around. You needed to peel it all back to be in that, to identify it and identify how you want to handle it.
Yeah.
And in my past, if I've not taken the time to like peel all that back and be clear on that, I've just gone out and piled a whole bunch of other shit on it. And now I don't have time to be clear on what, like, now I got to go do this thing. I put this on my plate. I have this meeting. I've got, right? So now I'm busy, but I'm not clear.
Yeah, you're distracted.
I'm distracted,
Yeah.
but I'm more stressed than ever.
And that's the Tasmanian devil running around causing chaos.
Yeah. And I've displaced what I need to process. Kick that can right down the road.
Oh, yeah.
But the can is still there.
Really good at that.
Rest assured. Gonna
Yeah.
trip over that shit in the middle of the night and stub my toe.
Yep.
That's happening.
You
Yeah.
feel like you're good at that.
Oh, yeah. Bury my head in the sand.
Keep busy.
Yep. Ignore that. It'll go away if I ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like
that's
you're
common.
in this situation. I just want to give you credit too, because you're not ignoring it.
No.
This
Yeah.
was you fully were processing it. You were sharing it, which I think you acknowledged. But I also think like wading into it with your daughter. And I don't put that in the category of fixing. I put that in the category of supporting.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the learning process is it's that talking about feelings, which you're saying, again, I think you're leveling up to a different point where you're saying, I know what I feel and therefore I know what I need to do. I'm just at the point of, I think this is what I'm feeling. Like these are the physical things I'm feeling because,
Yeah.
but I'm not at identifying emotion.
Got it. I think that's the step. The first step though is sharing.
Yeah.
And I've always shared how I'm feeling for my whole life. So I came in sharing.
Yeah.
Oversharing. And now, but I didn't know myself. Share, tell me what to do. Because I don't know.
So you're seeking validation,
But Mom,
seeking
you tell
answers.
me. Yeah, seeking. And never feeling better.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if this had happened a year ago, totally different process I would have had.
Yeah.
So
That's really important point I want to double click on quickly is that you said never feeling better, right? So when you're seeking and other people are solving for you, they're missing the mark. And I'm taking that as a very important point that I'm going to take away from this conference. This will be my one thing for today is because in my effort to help and solve and fix, I'm missing the mark. And I'm not bringing relief. I'm not bringing comfort, and I'm not supporting a person that needs development of their own making and doing. I'm kicking the can down the road for them,
Yeah.
and I'm not helping. And so that was a very important aha for me. Thank you for saying that, because in my effort to help, I am actually I'm contributing noise.
Yeah, you're there. We are all the experts of our own life.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to trust yourself in order to believe that. Like, I think if someone said that to me, I mean, even in many years of therapy, I would be like, well, what should I do? What do you think I should do? Just tell me what to do, because you obviously know what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I'm not telling you what to do. What do you think you should do? And you realize that if it's just delaying it,
Yeah.
if you jump in and try to save. And so let them fail and fuck up on a $100 mistake, hopefully not a $10,000 one, but like let them fuck up on the little shit. And for me too, right? It's like, I'll test this door and that wasn't right. I'll test this door. And now I do finally feel like I am understanding who I am. And that came with a lot of affirmations of like, I've got this. I've been through things like this before. I know how to handle it. Trusting my gut, trusting my intuition.
Well, and I think that is a really important takeaway too, is being that sounding board for someone. So when they are going through that challenge, number one, you're allowing them to stress test in a safe environment. They're not stress testing in a crisis, hopefully, right at the worst of time without trusted support. So stress test in a supportive environment, but then also, you know, what you just shared was that and I just lost the thought. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
It was therapy helped me solve it.
That you're kicking a can down the street
Delaying.
if you help too much.
Loving,
This is
trusting
hilarious.
yourself. Looking at it, though.
Wow.
It'll come.
Menopause.
It'll
real.
come. I saw it left your.
It's
leave
real.
your
You
eyes.
saw it leave my eyes?
I was like,
It's okay. This shit's
Joe,
real.
maybe
Shit's
once
real and messy.
Once you say your thing, it'll come in.
It might not. It wasn't. It wasn't important. Come on,
It wasn't groundbreaking. No, it was.
Well,
you were
you know.
you were like in resonance with it. You were like lit up.
I know. That shit's gone.
Wow.
She gone.
She gone. That's all right.
It's all right.
That's
All you ladies, you
we
know
are
where
human.
I am.
We are human.
You know that the perimenopause brain, that's a real thing. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what's your one thing?
I think my one thing goes back to Alana. You said something and it made me think, you know, sometimes you look at people and you're like, how have you existed to adulthood? Like the way people act, the choices they make. And you're just like, how?
Like, because they're a hot mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it. And you look at them, but they did, right?
They did.
They did make it this far and they did it without my help. And it's my ego, right? It's our ego that we want to help everybody. Because can we? Are we capable? Are we the right help?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I just thought of it.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
Because you said, it's literally what you just said. It's being that reminder for someone when they're going through a challenge. You've done hard shit before. You've made you've had something twice as hard as this, and you figured that shit out. You can do it. So it's almost being that cheerleader, encouraging them. You're more resilient than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah.
You can do hard things. You can figure that shit out, and I'm here to love you through it. Like, that's literally my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that you said the ego part, because it's like,
Yes.
what is the origin of my choices? Is it ego, which is fear, or love and trust, even in uncertainty? So it's like checking in with yourself. What is the origin of my choices? And am I acting on who I want to become?
Yeah.
And I think that for me yesterday was like, I'm still, self-development, but like what I do now, the choices I made yesterday, are they who I want to become? And yes, it is. It's in uncertainty. I want to check in with myself, process and understand how I'm feeling, give myself what I need, and be supportive to people only after I'm supportive to myself.
Yeah. Oxygen mask on yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And that's new.
Is that your one thing?
That's my one thing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wow, this was a good one, guys. You definitely got
This
to
has
the
been
root of a lot of
helpful.
things.
Helpful.
Yeah.
So thanks for percolating this concept, and the fact that it was resonating with you, or first resonating with
Yeah, it
you,
was
then
Joe, yeah.
then you're like, yep, this thing just happened, and then I went to that thing yesterday. It was literally all yesterday. That's miraculous.
Wow.
How this weaves together so almost effortlessly, and that we're all processing the exact same thing separately is
Yeah.
pretty affirming of our alignment, which is amazing, even
And
though
the
it's slightly
fact
different.
That we schedule these a little bit out, and I know the time and day we schedule are on purpose.
For sure. Always. We're always on purpose.
Makes sense.
Well, we hope that this episode resonated with you and that you've taken some nuggets away and hopefully one thing that's going to evolve how you handle yourself and how you're supportive to others in times of uncertainty. I think one thing we know for certain is that uncertainty and change is coming, right? And so we can't be getting ready. We got to be ready, as one of my very dear friends says. And I think the best way to be ready is to just be solely, resolute in who you are and what you need. And then just being really respectful and asking others what they need to affirm that you're being truly supportive and you're not kicking someone else's can and delaying their own development and growth. And so please share us out, share us with your friends and family members. Make sure you're following us on socials. Please subscribe and ask others to subscribe as well. And we look forward to seeing you again real soon.